Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Tuesday. We're on day number 9 of body positivity, and I'm going to start with the soul truth because you know what? That seems to really be hitting home lately with some of the cards that have been coming out before we tap into the lesson for the day. So let's see what we get here. I really like the soul truth cards. They really kind of make you think, right? Because they're the self-awareness cards. So let's see what magical one we get today. I know. There we go. Let's see. From whom can I release my judgment right now? Maybe that's just releasing judgment when you look in the mirror, right? So judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what it is. Look at the person you are judging as if you were looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down, and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted, and add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. Good morning, baby bear. So I really like that card because when it comes to body positivity, of which we are on day 9 now, I think a lot of times we hold this judgment of ourselves, right? And not only do we hold the judgment of ourselves, but sometimes when we're holding judgment of other people, it reflects, it's because we're reflecting. Sorry, my hair is driving me nuts today. It's because we're reflecting, right? We're reflecting in different directions and, maybe possibly even deflecting from what we're feeling. So, because we don't want to face that sometimes, right? We don't want to face what it is that we're going through. And like I said, body positivity, it doesn't care what size you are because it's all what's going on up here. It's all what's happening in your head that really kind of brings you to that place. So as we hit day 9, let's see what today's topic is. Name something good about your negative feature. For me, being a plus size girl has taught me has kind of put me on the body positive self-love journey, because I didn't like myself when I was little or thin. I did not like myself now, and I figured, you know what, now is the best time to really start to see myself, right? Because where I'm at right now, that's where the world puts so much judgment on a lot of us who don't fit society's standards of what we're supposed to look like. And most of the time they're unrealistic standards. And I think when we find, let's see, something good about your negative feature, whatever your negative feature is, that you feel is your negative feature, embrace it. For the longest time, I hated my scar because people would stare at it when I was little. Before I started getting taller, I had a bone that would stick out, which kind of made my boobs a little lopsided, because you needed to know that, right? But yeah, this is the perfect card for today's topic. From whom can I release my judgment right now? Well, how about from what? How about from what? What are you judging on yourself that you can change, that you can release? Because it says right here, look at the person, or look at the situation or the issue that you are judging as if it is a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. I really think that would help. I do. Because we put so much judgment on ourselves. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. Let's see. See? Baby bear. I hated my boobs because they were small, and now I love them. Hated my scars, and now I love them. You know what's funny is when I was thinner, I didn't have boobs because they were small. There was like an AB, barely a B. And so, I always say be careful what you wish for, because these, now that I've gained weight, they get in the way. They totally get in the way. So, and they're not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But there are times when I'm trying to reach for something and it's just like, seriously? But I think the reason, when we're little and we wish for these things, it's because it's what society makes us think is attractive to other people, attractive to, whoever it is we're trying to attract. And are we living for ourselves, or are we living to please other people? There's nothing wrong with trying to, have, there's nothing wrong with trying to please people. But when we forget how to take care of ourselves and everything becomes about what everybody else wants and not what we want, that's where the problem is. And a lot of times that can tie into body positivity. It can make us feel, well, in order for me to be seen, in order for me to be acknowledged, I have to do this, that, or something else. But sometimes we forget to just be ourselves. We forget that whoever is going to be drawn to us, whoever is going to come into our lives, are going to love us exactly for who we are, no matter what. And if they find imperfections, if they find flaws, maybe it's a projection of their own insecurities. Maybe they're worried about what the world will think about them. Well, I can't hang around this person because this person, doesn't make me look good. Or they might be judged, or they might be this. And you know what? If you're doing that, then maybe you just don't deserve that person. Because when you find that person that just absolutely knocks you off your feet, what everybody else thinks shouldn't matter. But as the person, whatever it is that you are going through, whatever it is that you are facing, whatever it is that you don't like about yourself, it's time to embrace that. It's time to embrace that little bit of you that you don't, and just say, hey, you know what? It's okay. I mean, it's like I said, I used to hate my scar, and then one day I woke up and I thought, hey, you know what? This has kept me alive. This is, given me a life that a lot of people that have had my particular issue with congenital heart defects, birth defects, didn't have. I talked about this before. My mom had a friend who had a daughter with a similar situation, and she didn't make it out of her teens. So this is something that I've learned how to embrace. And, so for day 9, something good about your negative feature, for body positivity. Good morning, baby sibling. Well, I'm getting all the kids on here today. So yeah, I want to read this card again because the judgment, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect for today's topic for day 9 of body positivity. Now remember, for anybody joining us, whether you're watching live or watching later, these are 30 non-consecutive days. So we're on day 9, and the first 10 days that we've done, non-consecutive days, has been from hashtag FEFF body hate. And I saw this and I thought, this is spectacular to start with, because they put in some things in there that we need to do to take care of our mental health, because that's where body positivity starts. It starts in here. It doesn't start with dieting. It doesn't start with people telling you that you should lose weight. It doesn't start with people shaming you for eating a cupcake or eating a piece of cake or eating whatever. Body positivity starts in here. Like I said, there are people, however they identify, of all shapes and sizes, who absolutely love their bodies. And most of the reason I would say behind that is because they stopped caring what other people think. They stopped listening to the chatter. They stopped listening to people who have their best interest in mind saying, well, I get that a lot. Well, you have to take care of your heart. Yeah, I get that. But what you see is, I see it every morning in the mirror. But I know I have to work on this before I can work on anything else. It's like I always say, what you say, excuse me, give me 1 second. What you say is what you hear. It's what your mind is going to process. And it's going to end up being what you see. So if you were constantly saying negative things about yourself, or you were constantly listening to the outside chatter, you're going to start seeing it. You're going to start believing it. I didn't love my body when I was what some people would consider healthy. I don't like my body now. But I'm learning to love it now. I know that makes no sense, right? I don't like it now, but I'm learning to love it, because I'm in this place right now where sometimes I look in the mirror and it's just like, oh, and then I'm like, wait. You got to start practicing what you preach. You got to start saying, hey, you know what? I see me. I see me. You have to start looking in the mirror and saying, I am enough. I am this, I am that, all the positive things. So again, from whom can I release my judgment right now? Release it from yourself. Release it from yourself. Because when you learn how to release your shame, or maybe the shame that's been placed on you, you are going to be able to move forward. You are going to be able to see yourself and love yourself exactly as you are. I had always thought that, body positivity was, trying to get healthy, right? That's what we call it when we're feeling shamed into losing weight, or shamed into not loving our bodies, so that we start to fit society standards of what is correct. And it's dumb. It's dumb. It really is. That's just, reinforcing the body negativity, making people feel bad about themselves. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how to flip that switch, look in the mirror, and again, body dysmorphia, body positivity, it doesn't care what size you are. So this whole series that I'm doing for body positivity, it doesn't matter what size you are. If you hate your body, you are in the right place. Because this is what we're working towards. We're working towards learning how to love our body. Don't go so far in the future that you forget where you started. Sit in body positivity now. Be mindful about it, okay? If you gain a pound, it's okay. All right, it's okay. Don't start starving yourself. Don't do this, that, or the other. Just, maybe you had fun the night before, maybe you had a bad night the night before and binged or something. Just go back to what you've been doing. You don't need to sit there and eat like a rabbit to get back that 1 pound, because what you're doing is you're just reinforcing the idea that you're bad, that you are bad, that you made a mistake, and now you have to fix it in 9,000 different ways. Just go do a reset, okay? However you were eating the day before that, just go back to your regular habits, not the bad ones. Start replacing the bad habits with the good habits. Put a little more fruit in your fridge, instead of, going out for a late night, fast food run, maybe make a sandwich in your, keep stuff around that you can have a little nibble on. Even if it's fruit. I have a whole thing of honeydew. It's sitting in my fridge, and I love honeydew. And it's like, older siblings, not a big fan, so I just take it and I just eat it right out of the bowl. Right out of the bowl it came in. But stuff like that, keep bananas around. And I'm not telling you to diet, because dieting doesn't work. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. I know people think it does. Dieting is a quick fix. So if you're trying to lose those 2 pounds and fit in that dress for whatever occasion, more power to you. But if you're dieting because you want to fit society standards for something, it's not going to work. Because all you're going to do is you're going to lose that weight, and then if you don't have the mental power behind it, you're just going to gain the weight back. The minute that dress starts feeling tight, right, you're going to be like, oh my God. So that's what we're trying to do. Body positivity isn't about what this looks like. It's about what's happening in here. It's all about the mental health aspect. And you don't have to have a dinged up mental health to have poor body positivity, or to have, excessive body negativity. No, it affects everybody, whether you have a dinged up mental health or not, right? It affects anybody, because again, we start listening to other people, we start listening, and it's not always their fault. People have good intentions, but depending on who the person is, some people just say, you know what, shut your face, because I don't need to hear your stuff anymore. But some people who are like me, just kind of like, oh yeah, no, I know, and you're right, because you don't want to hear it, so you're just trying to make them stop, and then the more you agree, the more they go on, right? Just be supportive. Know that this person knows where they're at, and you can't fix them. You can't stop them. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. They have to make that choice themselves. I talked about it yesterday with my dad smoking. And again, I reiterate, I don't care. I have if that's your thing, that's your thing. I have no judgment. But the reason I brought him up was because my father tried to quit so many times for my mom and for me. And then it never worked. And the reason it didn't work was because he wasn't doing it for himself. When I did my weight loss program 9 years ago, I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for my mom because my mom was dying. I really didn't want to go through it at that time because I knew I was an emotional eater already. And it was a very hard time. And I thought, well, maybe this will help me overcome that. No, it just made it worse. Like I said, all the weight I lost, I gained it back, and then twice. Basically I gained it and gained back what I had lost. So I doubled it. Because after she passed, it took me, I probably hung around that weight for about 2 years, came back from London and just went into full on depression because I realized I couldn't keep running from my grief. And then when I lost my job and got laid off, oh my God, it got even worse. So I did put the extra weight back on over time, but it's because I wasn't dealing with what was up here. And so I started hating my body more. I started thinking, well, I got to do self-love. I got to do this. I can't tell you how many of these I've done. I did a 30 days of self-love. I've done a 30 days of body positivity. I've done a 30 days of gratitude and this, that, and the other. And I had a friend ask me, hey, do you ever listen to the advice you give on your show? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's exactly what I said to her just 2 months ago, without even hesitating with my answer. Absolutely not. And older sibling and I were talking about that the other day. And I said, it's scary how fast I answer that. Because, older sibling does the same thing. We kind of talk about this a lot. We give the best advice we don't take. And, or we don't live by. And I think, finally when I started the body positivity, I thought, okay, I've got to do this again. But this time I've got to follow my own advice. This time I've got to practice what I preach. How can we lead if we're not leading from a place of listening to ourselves? I'm not better than anyone else. I'm not worse than anyone else. I'm just the same as everybody else, living in my own journey, living my own existence, my own truth. But the thing is I haven't been living my truth. This is the first time I've done the body positivity and looked in the mirror and caught myself when I wanted to say bad things. So this is a little TMI, but down in the downstairs bathroom, it's like a half bath. So it's just a sink in the potty, and the potty faces the mirror. I know the potty faces the mirror, and I'll catch myself sometimes just kind of, you look up because what are you going to look at, right? Most of the time we just stare at the door, but the door is not in front of me. The mirror is. And I started reminding myself, I am enough. I am enough. So while getting the business done down there, yes, you know what? I have 1 and 2s, but I'm human. What? Shelly's human? Mostly. But yeah, I've finally trained myself to say I am enough. And I noticed that when I use the upstairs restroom and I'm staring at the door, I've found that even though there's not a mirror in front of me, I'm starting to repeat that in my head. I am enough. So, I figured that's probably the strangest place to teach yourself a habit, but at the same time, we do our business several times a day. So several times a day, I'm reminding myself I am enough. And I don't do it every time, so I'm trying, and I think that's why it's coming up for me now, is to remind myself to, make this a habit, to sit there and go, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I'm good enough. Or maybe add in there, I'm an amazing human being. If you're really struggling, I'm a beautiful human being, or a handsome human being, or however you identify, just whatever. Just, be kind to yourself. Take that negative feature and find something good about it. This is my lifeline. But my negative feature would probably be that, yeah, I am plus size. I'm not going to say overweight. I'm going to say plus size, because there are girls my size, like I said, that absolutely 100% love their bodies. They don't care. And people love them. The people they're with love them. The people around them love them. They own it. They own it. The thinner people, there's thin people in the world, right? The thinner people in the world. Maybe their bodies are healthy, but is this healthy? No, because they're sitting there. I gotta work out. Like, I knew somebody who every time they ate a burger had to like work out for 2 hours the next day because they were heavy as a child, and I can't go back there. I can't go back there. So instead of just getting their head in gear and saying, you know what, hey, I had, because they were a total foodie, and instead of sitting there saying, you know what, I enjoyed that, but I do like to work out every day, they would freak out. It would be the total mindset, I can't get fat. Instead of just saying, yeah, I work out because I like to, maintain my figure. I like to stay healthy. It helps when to get that blood flowing and stuff. No, it's like they just reverted to the old days and remembering the teasing they would get, remembering the mean things that were said to them. I'm so sorry. There's like these birds. I don't know if they're seagulls or not, but somebody's having a party out there, and they are far from the ocean. I'm like 20 miles from the ocean. So something's happening out there. But the birdies are very distracting. Or they're just saying, yeah, Shelly, tell them, squawk, squawk, tell them. But these are the things that we have to remember, okay? So remember, what you say is what you hear. It's what your brain's going to process it, and it's going to end up being what you see. So again, as I told you, this phrase is going to be very prominent in these 30 days, non-consecutive days of body positivity, because I think it's very important for us to remind ourselves that we need to speak kindly about our bodies. We need to speak kindly about ourselves. Shape, size doesn't matter. What matters is how much you love yourself. Not how much you think society loves you, how much you love you. Because believe me, once you feel that confidence in your body, it's gonna expand. Your light is gonna shine. Sometimes when we love our bodies just the way they are, we give other people permission, unknowingly, to love their bodies just as they are. If you need to get healthy for health reasons, hey, more power to you. I got to because of this. But I'm not going to set the standard anymore and say, well, I need to get healthy. Well, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, so people will like me. No, fuck that. Right? If people don't like me, that's just because of what they see on the outside. That's not my problem. That's not my problem anymore. And I've got to stop putting my health and my mental health on the line to impress people that I don't even know. We have to do these things for ourselves. So again, body positivity really is a state of mindfulness. It's being in a place of mindfulness. It's understanding and looking in the mirror and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe today this is it, but I love exactly who I see in the mirror no matter what it is I'm going through. That is body positivity. It's about staying in the moment and loving who you see in the mirror no matter what size you are. Hi, Kelly. Good morning. So, anyways, there's not much more I can say on that. But remember, the card for the day, from who can I release my judgment right now? Release it from yourself. All right. And release it from the people that maybe make you feel bad about yourself. Release it because like I said, they may be coming from a place of insecurity. They may be coming from a place of worry and all these other places. But what matters is what you are thinking in your head. Do not fall victim to other people's judgments. Do not fall victim to other people's critiques. Do not fall victim to other people's unkindness. Maybe the way they tease you or this and that. That's them. That's on them. That's not on you. That's an insecurity coming from that person. Don't fall victim to their insecurities. Be a victor in your own life. Raise yourself up. Remind yourself that you are an amazing human being, that you are enough, and you are perfect just the way you are in this moment. Okay? And once you're able to do that, and remember, today's day 9, so find something good about your negative feature, whatever it is. So, like I said, for me, the first thing I put down when I first wrote this down is being a plus size woman has taught me how to have body positivity and self-love on this journey. I'm still learning it. It's not an easy thing for me because I'm really, really, really following it along this time with you guys. But I've learned one thing. This body, it's keeping me alive. This body is fighting off stuff that, you know, lots of people don't have to worry about fighting off. I mean, nothing bad, just, you know, the regular stuff. But it's still keeping me going, and that's what matters the most. All right, so love your body, love yourself, love your mind, because your mind is really what causes the body negativity or the body positivity. So just go on your way. Every time you see a mirror or yourself in a reflection outside, wherever, I am enough. And say it with feeling. I am enough. And I'm amazing just as I am. I am amazing just as I am. You know, and who knows? Maybe along the way, if you are a person trying to lose weight for whatever reason you're trying to lose weight, maybe it'll start happening because you're not judging yourself. You're not giving yourself a hard time anymore. All right? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, Facebook Live. Tomorrow is Self-Care Wednesday. So you get to think about yesterday's treat your body to some pampering and TLC, and today's something good about your negative feature. You get to think about that tomorrow, and I'll be back Thursday with Body Positivity, day number 10. So again, tomorrow is Self-Care Wednesday. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, please. If you want to join the lives, again, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch under Shelly Marie Lucas, or you can catch my replays on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective, and on my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective. If you want the shorter version, if you want the takeout version, the quick express version, I do a 10-minute or less TikTok on the body positivity. And that's also under the Aloha Perspective. All right. So I hope, again, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Think about what I said. Every time you pass your reflection, I am an amazing human being, or I am enough. Have a great day.